Well, I have truly put a tremendous amount of pressure on myself now, haven't I? Welcome to Crusader Kings 3 with the man, the myth, the legend, and perhaps now publicly, truly the devil, King Cannoli of Ballio Tyrrhenia. Because yesterday, all of it came to fruition. All of his carefully laid long-term plans, which definitely weren't accidental, of course, came to a head, and at long last he has unveiled, perhaps for the first time ever, willingly admitted who he is behind the scenes. Of course, he hasn't admitted all the crimes and everything else associated with it. He, on the 6th of February, very quietly brought up a prisoner from his dungeon to his capital, to the cheering and the jeering of the crowd, and executed that man on the stepstones for everyone to see. And that man was none other than the Byzantine Emperor, Porphyrios. And then, would you believe it, the second his daughter was crowned following her father's death, only 3 short days later, as soon as that crown landed on her head and she was officially Empress of the Byzantine Empire, she was mysteriously killed, an assassin from the crowd of her crowning ceremony. And who should the title fall to next? Emperor Cornetto Karling of the Byzantine Empire. Your grandson, very suspiciously, of course. Would you look at that? Very strange, very suspicious, but of course this is a man who has spent his entire life, of course, doing murdering. But every single plot, every single ploy, every single scheme was executed so well that he was never caught. There were 2 instances where his murderous intents were debatably revealed, but they were very early in his career, and he never made any mistakes since his 30s, I think it was. He's had a long, and of course anybody would have forgotten about that by now. Rulers are murdered all the times. There's always plots and schemes and intrigue. They will have forgotten about that long ago, because this man is, and I like as someone put this in the comment section, truly Machiavellian. He is both loved and feared. He is respected, and his vassals are terrified because he is dreadful, but he's also kind. The Pope loves him. We're talking about a man who publicly dragged the Byzantine Emperor up for an execution. The Pope still loves him. The Pope gave us all of his treasury last episode. He gave us something like 5,000 gold for the pleasure. And now look at this. We just happen to have the Byzantine Empire in our pocket. Now the question is, do we leave it there? Do we allow Emperor Cornetto to manifest destiny, and we can be that silent shadow looming over Byzantium right now, as we have been for an entire generation's extinction? Every single one of them has been slowly wiped out. Do we keep being this kind of chaperone, this silent guardian, or devil, I suppose, on his shoulder, so to speak? And do we ensure that Cornetto comes out well and is a ruler and helps establish a permanent Karling dynasty in Byzantium? Or do we not stop there? And if it was me as a player, I've talked about this before, and I've actually shot down this very same idea before. I've said that I don't want Byzantium. You might remember that it was this character's father who married off one of his children, one of his daughters, I believe, to, or was it one of the sons to, again, kind of a similar situation, into Byzantium. It was like a third-born son who was in line to, could have potentially inherited. And I was happy just to let Karlings be Karlings over in Byzantium. I've shot this idea down. But this man has used his family as stepping stones to his greatness, to, of course, empower his own dynasty. He has wanted the best of the best, and they have been the best of the best. Every single one of his kids is a genius, of course. But his spy master for years was his very talented, very powerful sister. His children are all incredible. His son is Chancellor. His son could actually be the best steward, and he is actually technically the best steward of the realm. His son and heir, Savalum Karling, is this enormous, unstoppable beast of a man. I mean, 39 prowess is massive. Not to mention 20 martial on top. So when we take over as this guy, we can refine him down enormously. What is his grandson if not another tool in his arsenal? And what I'm suggesting here is we use our sway and our ability here as the head of the dynasty to simply claim Byzantium. We can do that. We can just take it for ourselves. And we can say, yeah, We claim the title. We don't take Byzantium. We'd have to fight a war for Byzantium. We get a claim on the whole Byzantine Empire, and Cannoli, a man who views himself as an August, a man who's tried to almost be that Charlemagne reborn, becomes the emperor he's always wanted to be. And he's set himself up to be through all these years. He's got the trinkets, he's got the crowns, he's got the artifacts. Now he just needs the bloody empire. And I think this is it. I think this is the moment. Now, tragically, we can't declare war because, of course, we are allied to him. We could, of course, just have Emperor Cornetto disappear into the ether. Of course, he would become allied then with his granddaughter. What might be more sensible is to have this kid just live his life and then wait for what is going to be the inevitable Byzantine rebellion. And this is where we can tie all of these greatly laid plans together. We wait for the inevitable Byzantine rebellion because we've installed a foreign king from a foreign realm. Not illegally, everything we did was by the book, but through some tyrannical and truly evil means. We execute their emperor after abducting him to coincide with our long-laid plot to assassinate his whole family, right? They're not going to stand for this, and they will almost certainly rebel because it's the Byzantine Empire, and when they do, that's when Baguette Karling, a man who has been groomed his entire life to be a monstrous warrior, a monstrous military expert, a holy warrior. Of course, they are a different religion to us. I presume it would apply against what is a totally orthodox realm, right? What do they count as right now? They're considered astray, but I believe holy warrior is just religious enemies, right? Faith hostility advantage plus 10. Oh, interesting. I think it would still apply, though. And I believe that Savalum would be the man to take this realm. The problem is, that is an unpressed claim on Byzantium, as it stands currently. What will happen is, here's what I'm hoping will happen. Here's the plan that we're going to lay out and see if it will come true today. Cornetto immediately gets a rebellion because he is a Catholic ruler in an Orthodox realm. They'll just kick him out pretty much immediately. Chances are they would just depose him and install someone else with a faction. At that point, this is when Cannoli can push his claim, and that will, we'll keep it because it's then a pressed claim, right? I believe at that point it will inherit down to Savalum. Even if it doesn't, we've got this other safety net, and Savalum will become the dynasty head. He can just do exactly what Cannoli does if this kid is not deposed by the time that this guy is still alive. By the time that Cannoli is ready to go to war for the Byzantine Empire. If we're going to war for it, I believe we keep it, right? If he dies mid-war and this guy takes over, this could be amazing. This would not result in an alliance. Well, you know what? If this is the plan that's going through Cannoli's brain, which it is, because it makes sense, right? Everything is done to set up for this. Some alliances elsewhere would be good. Getting an alliance with the HRE, getting an alliance with Francia would certainly make any wars against Byzantium instantaneous, because the HRE is very, very powerful right now. You just happen to have an unmarried daughter. And that makes our life quite easy. I imagine he might just accept a marriage, to be fair. So if we say, how old is she? She's 10. So we can marry her to Cannoli Karling. He's 19. Limes Arabicus, fine. Would not result in an alliance? Okay, that's fine. What if we go for Limes Arabicus? That will give us an alliance. And actually, he's very happy to accept it, probably because we are a frightening monster, and, again, everybody loves us. The living legend, the Crusader, the good man who had a slight slip-up when he accidentally executed the Byzantine Emperor. Boom. Now, if we also speak to Francia quickly before that goes through, did I not establish a marriage with you already? Or am I misremembering? Emma Robertine Abbeville. Oh, that's right, we have a strong hook on you. I was about to negotiate something for that, wasn't I? I remember. You're married. She is married to Savalum. Oh, I've already done it. Right. Yeah, no. What if we just go for an alliance then? Because we're at war. We already have one proposed alliance active. Why can't we forge an alliance with him? We could go for something closer. I mean, he's got a son. So if we just arrange that with like a daughter, this will not result in an alliance. Ooh, how can I get an alliance out of him then? I don't really think I can. Not easily, anyway, because she's so far down the line of succession. It's a shame you're married. We could try and kill off your wife. But honestly, the HRA is enough, and I think we'll leave it there for now. I like having this hook on France, to be honest, that's a bit more free. I think I'm going to cash it out, because it's every 5 years, and I worry that this guy might die before we can do anything with it. He's 73 after all. He's just fulfilled his life's work. Let's be careful with things. So you want to marry your grandson? Grandson of the Emperor. I mean, again, it's not an alliance to my daughter. We're going to say no, because we'd get no benefits from that other than prestige, right? Let's take this. I'm going to take this somewhat slowly today, because we've got a lot on the line here. Oh, my good God. Well, firstly, we'll take the money away from him. It's very convenient having friends in high places, so to speak. Let's cash out, because again, I'm a little worried my guy could die soon. So cashing out on all of these and just getting the money in our pocket, we could do a lot more with, just in case this war gets a little out of hand, but we're all right. Again, we could... Oh, so we're not allied. We just can't declare war because I haven't unpaused. Right? Do I have a casus belli? I think I do. That's strange, because I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, I thought we were allied by default, but I guess not. Okay, that's fine. Do we want any of these? We're going to have to start selling off some of these artifacts that are not necessary. You could argue that 20% fertility one I could have done something with. You could argue we could do something with that, but we've got so many artifacts, it's so expensive. Why can't we go to war with you then? Grandson, what's going on with that one? You don't have a casus belli and Emperor Cornetto. You are allied. Oh, we're allied in a bloody war for Croatia. Right, we do have a casus belli, so I don't know what that is talking about. And press claim. What do I need to press an empire level casus belli then? Is there something I'm missing for that one? Maybe an innovation somewhere? Let me have a look through and see if I'm missing something. Rightful ownership just allows you to use de jure casus belli. Can press multiple claims to another character in a single war. Let's just see when this war ends, what happens after that. And there we are. We've got an alliance with the HRE. So if it does come down to a war, that we can absolutely do that. Alternatively, if there's any character that's going to be a cheeseball about we just ransomed off a guy that was going to kill the Byzantine Emperor. We can ask the Pope for more gold. No way. Huh. I told you we were a nice guy. You didn't believe me. Oh, excellent. To be fair, the fact that we've just taken... I mean, the Pope's probably loving it because we've just installed a Catholic ruler on Byzantium. This guy's probably on cloud 9 right now, so we're gonna keep the Pope on side. Let's marry off a daughter then before I get too carried away with things. I'm looking for alliance power if possible. Byzantine Empire. I'm not really so bothered about that one. How many troops have you got? 17,000. That's something. Honestly, if they'll accept, they will accept. Shavarism. That's quite far away. What happened to Diplo range? Oh my god, because they're in the Mongol Empire and we have a border with them, or we're soon to have a border with them. That is the big problem with this whole thing, right? But that's an interesting alliance. It's pretty bloody pointless because if we get into a war, they've got to march their troops all the way from India to the Mediterranean. I presume there's no Suez Canal at this point in time, right? You can't jump your boats across that. Oh well, we'll figure it out. Yeah, fine. That's okay, I suppose. You can declare wars. Honestly, I'd really declare wars on France here. Oh, Mediterranean conquest. Yeah, fine. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no, none of these are what I want. What I want is Byzantium. Are you joking? To declare war on the Byzantine Empire, you need to be in perfect condition. Is this guy wounded, scarred? One-armed, one-legged? Am I missing something? I don't believe so. There's apparently a Byzantine tradition. Let's have a look here. Greek. Byzantine traditions. Apparently you can't declare war on characters if they, traits kind of physically disfigured and infertile claimants cannot press their claims against rulers of this culture. Physically disfigured and infertile claimants. Does he count as that from somewhere? He's scarred, but surely that doesn't count as a physical disfigurement, right? Infertile is possible. No, it's not, because he's just had a kid. So I don't understand. There must be something I'm missing. Okay, that's all right. That's okay. We've got the claim. That's the important part. You're allied to him in a war. You don't have a casus belli. Let's see it when that war's over, if it ever ends. Oh, it looks as if they're about to wrap it up now, funnily enough. When this is over, we'll see how that goes. Oh, shit. To the charming... The Baltic Empire. What? So the charming King Canoli of Balausarinia, I call you to honor our alliance. The Mongol invasion of the Baltic Empire. Oh, they actually have made the Baltic Empire. I don't know why it put me down there. Whoa. How odd. I think it's... How is that an empire? Okay. Yeah, I'll accept you helping that one out. Sure thing. Oh, no. Okay, so they can use an empire tier Casus Belli, so they're probably just going for Estonia. That's exactly what they're going for. Right, I understand. I was going to say, what the hell kind of empire is that? Oh, so they're not actually stopping. That's frightening, isn't it? Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You're all good. My God, we have an option to submit to the Great Khan. It's time to acknowledge that the Mongols truly are the rulers of the world. I would join their ranks rather than fight them and become a vassal of him. Interesting. We would never. This man would never. Is this going to be the legendary showdown? Karlings versus Mongols. Just like history always should have had. Oh, this is cool. So all of these buildings, these unique buildings we can build in Rome now that it's a Burj and obviously the upgraded version, the Megalopolis. They're all the historically kind of analogous buildings. So this one, the Royal Palace, isn't actually the Royal Palace. It's the Palatium Lateranense, the Lateran Palace, which is where the Pope lives. So we've hoisted him out and he's still paying us money by the thousand. He's just paid for an upgrade on his house that we're living in. Hey, what a nice guy. He's so kind. He's such a generous fella. Ooh, another diplomacy lifestyle perk. Thank you. Oh, we're up to Patriarch. Bloody hell. Fertility 20%, stress loss plus 20%. Not that he has any stress anyway. Close family opinion and house opinion. Wow, we totally maxed out every single one of the diplomacy trees. I mean, what the hell else am I going to do here? We could go for... like architect or administrating. I mean, we could go for torturer, but he's kind of moved past that. In the final years of his life, we go for scholar or whole of body. Maybe. Oh, medicine focus. Right? He of all the people in the world knows, I would assume, a lot to know about poisons. And I think he would probably be a little bit of a budding chemist after years of killing people with poisoned wine. Pretty much an entire dynasty in the Byzantine Empire. I'm going to go for this one because I think it's the most appropriate for his character, even though I think I would rather go for avaricious or architect at this point. It just doesn't suit him as a character. I know he's got very, very high stewardship. He's got very high everything. I think I'm going to go for that because I feel like he'd be dabbling. You know, remember in the good old days when he would murder children by the boatload? Literally by the boatload. Everybody is reaching out for marriages. Now, I married a couple of them off. Both were either matrilineally in favor of House Karling or patrilineally in favor of House Karling. Basically everything for us. How did you get land? What did you get? Salmadesus? Sell my what? Who am I where? You got given land in Byzantium? You got a castle. I guess because he wasn't first in line, he was just like, yeah, I'll take anything at this point. The overlooked firstborn genius of the dynasty. The one who's, the only one who's come close to his own father's footsteps. Oh, it's his kid that's the Byzantine emperor. I wonder if he's regent. He's not regent. It's this man with a fantastic hat. Okay. Yeah, we've got loads of people reaching out to be like, please, can we get married? Minnie de St. Agatha, your daughter and ward, wishes, who is this man? The King of Poland wishes to marry his son to my daughter. Is that his son and heir? It's his second-born son. Decline. I can find us something better than that. Thank you. Thank you for the offer, though. That's very kind. It's very kind. So I married a couple of people. Oh. Agnes wants a diddle. Never. He would never allow himself to gain such a secret. How sweet, but no. I don't think we want to make an enemy of her. He's a very sensible man, this guy. No murder has gone unnecessarily, except for basically all of them, actually. What happened to you? You're dead. Well, that solved that problem then. Who was he? Didn't like him for some reason? Either way, we've pruned every single character that ever had any secrets on us, so we've already got nothing to worry about at this point. I think we just turned Rome into a lovely... Oh, great, my son Cornetto has recovered from great pox. I think we just turned Rome and Venice into some lovely places for our dynasty to thrive from. And hopefully find some way to defeat the Byzantines. I mean, sorry, the Mongol Empire. We haven't got to worry until their horses can swim, right? I think we're fine. Ooh. Standing armies, if I'm not mistaken, gives us like +2 to our man-at-arms size. 13 out of 17. 13 out of 17. Oh. Look, I've said everything we've done with this guy is to make sure that Savalum has the most success he possibly can do, because he is a tool to be used for the furthering of this dynasty. And what better way than to give him a top-of-the-line premium army? So forget about upgrading Venice when we can create a much bigger army to try and help fight the incoming Mongol horde, because that's getting kind of scary. Ooh, those knights are expensive. Careful. God, they're so good, though. I think we've got better horsemen than the Mongol Empire at this point, and that's kind of saying something. We should invest into that, the workshops that give the siege weapon benefits as well. God, they're bloody good, though, aren't they? Additional siege progress 1.8 per day on top of the 0.5 per day by default, or is that after it's been... Yeah, that's after it's been applied. 0.4, and then it rounds it down, so actually we're so close to getting another level with just like a minor investment, and we can get a whole new man-at-arms. Now, if I'm not mistaken, when I was looking through the cultural focuses for the late medieval, one of them allows us to unlock, is it valets? Can recruit gendarmes as man-at-arms, so more armored horsemen, I presume. Let's have a quick look here. They are 160, god, they're good, 169, 62. That's Freudian slip. 162, 59, 20, 10 in that order for stats. Our current armored horsemen, by default, are 100, 35, 20, 0. 135, 20, 0. Wait. 135, 20, 0 without any benefits. These bloody things are 162, 59, 20, 10. They are like better in every way, right? So there's a lot of numbers to try and remember at the same time. And it is 3 a.m. They're actually insane. And I presume we'll get cultural bonuses because we have all of those ancient French traditions that have been carried on through our dynasty for many, many generations here. Hello, you're something that belongs to me. Meet me in a duel. Nope. Just hand waves him away. Court physicians cost less to hire and their treatments have better outcomes. This guy might end up living long enough that we can see all of our dreams come true. That would be a nice change of pace. All of our other characters have died so bloody young. How's his health getting on? Poor, you're ailing, but he's got no negatives and that's all from his old age. So I think he might be okay. Oh, you know what we could do? Well, I'm sorry to go back to this menu. I know that some of you are probably going to be frothing at the mouth just even looking at this. There's got to be some health modifiers from artifacts. Health medium boost from this book. I wonder if he'd be willing to part with it. Everybody in the world loves him, after all. We might have to fabricate a hook. Oh, he's got yogurt. That would go so nicely with the fruit pie. I don't want your Quran. I want your book, my friend. Where is it? Herbs and other potent plants. He actually just might accept... Oh, yeah, no, he would just accept, because it's, what is that, 52 negative, and we've got plus 60 by default, so we'll just save up a little bit more. My god, with all of our man-at-arms reinforcing, we're still at plus 56 per month. Jesus Christ. We were all alarmed when we saw a snake in my boots. Thankfully, one of my guards who has acknowledged us, who has a knowledge of animals, told us not to worry. It's a slow worm. You can tell because it has eyelids and blinks, unlike a snake, not to mention it doesn't have a distinct neck. The slow like got little vestigial legs as well. Well, you can't see them, but it's got the bones there. Wonderful information, thank you. Oh, in fact, they might even say that. Slowworms are a genus of legless slithers, and they're typically found in parts of Europe and West Asia. They defecate or shed their tail. Spooky. I don't think I've ever seen a slow one. Here you go. I'm gonna go for... Can someone kill that thing? Yes, you just stab it, please. I use a cloth to cover my nose. I want to observe that creature. Oh! The intrigue lifestyle experience. Intrigue +1. This character was curious. You know what? Look, he's very aggrandizing in public, but I think he's retired. He's retired, and he, he's doing a lot of reading books and studying, and kind of ruling from behind the scenes, waiting for his plan to come into action. He doesn't want to stress himself too much because he knows he's older. I think he wants to learn now. I think he's ready to keep his mind as sharp as possible. Because his dagger, it's dulled. The dagger of age has dulled, but his mind can be honed, where his body cannot. No further questions. I don't know what I just said. Herbs and other potent plants. He will just sell that to us. Scarab Brooch gives a small health boost and a disease resistance. I'm looking for any medium boost. I'd happily take that. I don't think small boost is worth it. But we've already got that perfume. Oh, there is a medium one. Oh, shit. Basilius that guy's got a fancy book. Interesting. Oh, my God. Cornetto has it. Cornetto, can I just buy that off of you? Because you can't use it right now. He will just let us buy it anyway. Shit. This man's going to live forever. Sorry for more artifacts, but my God, this is good. There's Greek Galen there. Oh my God, he owns another book that does the same bloody thing. Okay, hold on. We'll go back to him in a second. Okay, ill. This is what I'm talking about. You getting the trait ill? Do no more than what is necessary. Excellent work, Baldu. Very good. Oh, sorry, Bladu. Baldu? I was right the first time. Reduce disease symptoms. You are going to live forever, my friend. Fame. Just imagine it. Just stop eating that pie. So all of his books right now, of course, give diplomacy experience, and that's totally irrelevant. The problem is, I think all of those books we just picked up... What was that? It was diplomacy. That was diplomacy. Those books that we just picked up are... core artifacts. So that gives a medium boost. That gives a medium boost. How's that looking? Has that brought him up a little bit? Poor, you're ailing, which is fine. I mean, maybe when ill wears off, he'll actually just go back to fine health. The fact that he's still the same health kind of status, even though he's now ill, is pretty reassuring, I suppose. Let's have a quick peek here. So if any are inventory rather than... Oh, no, sorry, it's trinket, isn't it? For health boost related things. And I'll go through. I still buy, like, I don't know, price, because that generally is a better way to look at it. Small boost, small boost, small boost. We get a bunch of small boost stuff. Stack all those up too. Bunch of brooches and perfume. I'm just going to buy all the perfume. He's going to be the stinkiest man after he's running with that slow worm. Oh, shit. So there are these books. Look at this. Masterwork, Trinket, Inventory Artifact. They are called healing guides. Okay, okay. Helene, give me a healing guide. It's about to fall apart. She'll probably sell us that immediately. Herbalorium. So there are also ones that give learning lifestyle experience boosts, which of course would be beneficial right now, given that's just what he's doing, right? Count Simon's Herbalorium. Very low durability. That's okay. I can rebuild it. Now, what I was thinking is, because there's only 2 healing guides, and that other Herbalorium is a small health boost, but it gives a learning XP. These artifacts give learning lifestyle experience, health boost, and flat learning as well. So really, she'll probably sell us to that to us for pennies, because it's so damaged. And then we'll buy the Andalusian healing guide, and then this man lives forever. He won't live forever. It won't be that good, but you know, it's helpful. Okay, so we'll throw that in. We throw that in. We throw that in. Goodbye, pie. Sorry, pie. It's temporary. It's always, you know. I don't think he can really truly tear himself away from the pie for too long. We've got to repair this figure pretty fast, though. How's his health looking now? Fine. God, that's what you like to see, isn't it? He's gone from poor to fine, and he's ill. He's healthier than ever. Oh, look at that. I'm glad to be well again. Surely his health is, like, good. Still fine. Still fine. You like to see it. Thank you, Archon Demianu, just as I bankrupted the realm, repairing and buying books and artifacts. But, I mean, is there not a more perfect time to be buying books when you're learning about medicine? I mean, books on healing, it's just so perfect. So, I did want to get the Iron Crown of Lombardy. We'll talk about it. We'll put a pin in it for now. Come back to it. Ooh, a dynasty legacy. Good God. You're too good to me. If this had occurred when we were playing the next character, I probably would have gone into House of Warriors to represent what he is interested in. However, what are House Guards like as man-at-arms? 48, 40, 24 screen. Well, that's bloody good. I suppose they are guards. Studious youth. But because this guy has been using his family to... again, using them as tools probably isn't the right word, but he has been basically forcing the dynasty as a whole to manifest destiny. So we're going to stick with that. And actually, the next one gives a medium health boost if you get diseases, that is. Fewer complications during pregnancy. So that one we just got, Studious Youth. Dynasty members get better education traits. If there was never a reason for university before, there is even less of one now. Because in theory, that will boost our... I mean, we had like a 60-something... So it was like an 83% chance of a genius teaching a genius getting like the highest... Or level 3 trait by default. So... There's not much point going to that university. We're probably like 95%, eh? Ended inconclusively. Was he deposed? No. We can declare war for the Byzantine Empire. That's all that was stopping us. 117,000 versus 20,000 after the disastrous war on Croatia. Now, let me go back to an idea I floated. This is cheesy. Let me be totally, brutally honest with you. This is cheesy, and I've talked about how awful it is that you can do this in Crusader Kings. You can abduct, you can declare war, they bundle them into your prison. However, I would like to make a counterpoint. If ever there is a character who would execute such a plan, the fact you can do it with any character is what I don't like, because I was able to do it very successfully before with a very mediocre entry character and take an empire. The fact that that this guy, he's the master of intrigue. I mean, even now, he's only got better with age. If we were to put him back on the intrigue focus, this is what he was in his prime when he was focusing on intrigue. Because he looked at that slow worm, he is back. He's probably the best intrigue character in the world, to be totally honest with you. Probably by far. Let's just have a look quickly. Yeah. He is in a league of his own. He is the only character in the world to breach 40 intrigue, let alone be 42. You know, there's more of a gap between him and second place than some characters have an intrigue in total. So if ever there's a character to do this, if ever there's a character that has engineered this, I think it would be this man. It's a gamble, because if he dies, I don't think he will, but if he dies before we're able to abduct this kid and put this plan into motion, why not? And this is less, I would argue, kidnapping a kid, your own grandson, is more believable. Somebody that you know, their routine and their family and everything else, that's more believable than kidnapping the Byzantine Emperor and then being able to set all this up, in my opinion. Now, I know it's cheesy, and maybe some people would disagree with this, but I think if ever I'm going to do this, this is the man, because we are not going to get a character like this, maybe ever again. He was such a perfect storm. Don't worry about it. 85-85. And this is him, sat in his room, planning with his books and his artifacts. He's maintaining his own life so that he becomes the Emperor of Byzantium. And what a phenomenal way to live up to that legacy of Charlemagne. And again, the Pope's in our back pocket at that point, is he not? So, carefree is low stress gain. Restraint, you can embrace celibacy and abandon celibacy. Interestingly, from the things I was reading about declaring war on Byzantium, celibacy counts as, so eunuch characters, particularly characters that are infertile can't declare war. Apparently it's meant for eunuch, but it does also affect characters who are celibate, so we're not going to take that. Wash your hands. Please do. Please do, gamers. The only thing that concerns me somewhat is the fact that he has built up, even with all of those massive stress reductions, they've caught us, but it's still not enough. I mean, they know it's him. They know he's plotting something from his little shadowy island over there. But what can they do to stop him? They didn't stop him before. They're certainly not going to stop him now. And that kid has no friends in the Empire, right? My only concern is that, you know, after killing 100 kids, he has a relative level of stress. And this guy hasn't got any stress outlets. You know, he hasn't got a trait that lets you kind of lash out, pet a cat, whatever. We've got no options there. We could have a feast. And I think that's what I'm saving up my money for. I think we take the Byzantine Empire and we have a feast. We were always going to be. Everybody complained that I did not gain enough Mediterranean counties. Hey, how about the whole of Greece? How does that work for a Mediterranean county for you, huh? As per my request, my poet brings me a work inspired by my heroic life. You gain the Tales of King Cannoli artifact. After all, if the royal rear moves too far afield, where shall we direct all those wishing to kiss it? And it's quite funny. That is very funny. We'll keep that. Maybe he'll start a plot to have that person, you know, assassinated. Okay. We've intercepted this kid's communications, and again, it's because he's our family member. We speak his language. We know his movements. We know his you know, his father is right there. He might be in on the plot. You never know. These people are filthy bastards. This guy might be also help engineering him behind the scenes. He likes our current character far more than his own son. Right? Oh, no, that's Emperor Cornetta's opinion of you. I wish you could see vassal opinions. But, I mean, it's very, very unlikely that guy has a higher opinion of his kid than he does of us. I would be shocked. Let's put it that way. Royal court stuff going on here. Hello, a child's blunder. Although Morang is a child, it's important that he does day-to-day business at the court as part of his education. Piers Morang has made a blunder. He forgot the proper etiquette when addressing Nicolau. Nicolau laughed it off, saying that he's a child who will learn from mistakes, but Pancratius, who witnessed the whole incident, said it was highly inappropriate. Look, if Nicolau doesn't mind, we don't mind. That's fine. Like, the kid makes some mistakes. He's got to learn. Let's see it. Oh, the Pope. The Pope is, like, deeply in love with us. But, I mean, of course he is, right? We don't need the perfume. We don't even have the perfume equipped right now. We don't need the perfume. That can go at this point. Thank you. Mankadi Saga is fine, but I'm going to auction it off. Did I accidentally repair that last one? I didn't mean to do that. The Arm of St. George, it's unique, so I suppose I'll repair that one. I meant to sell the other one. It doesn't really matter too much. And here we go. Dear grandfather, I propose to formalize the ties that bind us together by signing an alliance. I propose we do not. I told you, they're onto him. They know he's plotting something, and they know they can't stop him. That was a desperate play by a desperate puppet master. Who's that regent? It's Trianos. And here we are. Soon he will be at my mercy. But before then, we will formally declare war. Before they even know. They get the missive. But where is the Emperor? Has anybody seen him? He seems to have disappeared. Has anybody seen the Emperor? We've just received word of war. The Emperor needs to rally his men, but he is a boy. Where he needs to sit atop his throne. That boy. Oh! Legendary. I'm impressed. You know what? You got to be impressed by him. He's a chip off the old block. But he dies all the same. We're not killing him. Mini de St. Agatha. Fine. Well, look, the plan didn't quite go as well as I expected. We've still got 85%, 85%. Holy shit. It actually didn't matter about my bullshit. We can still abduct him in the middle of the war because everybody hates him because he's a foreign ruler. I have never seen that before. We've maxed out the plot against abducting someone we're at war with because everyone hates him and everybody loves cannoli. I never considered that. Do the vassals of Greece love cannoli? They certainly will like cannoli more than they'll like this new kid. Almost certainly like... Oh yeah, look, there's the liege opinion. This guy's got like plus 47 with cannoli. This guy's got minus 100 of Cornetto. Oh my god, they all absolutely hate him, and they all have respect, if not, I would say a little bit of friendship with this guy, and more importantly, they're intimidated and terrified of him. If he walks in and says, I'm Emperor now, not only are they probably going to be much happier, clearly, but they'll also probably say, you know what, you're the boss. I'm not arguing with that. And now, the real puppet master makes his minions dance. We call in my good and strong friend, the Holy Roman Emperor, to die for us. We call in a man over in India to die for us. We call in Sweden to die for us. We call in all these people. What else am I going to use this prestige for at this age? Then getting all these people to die. We're going to get all of Europe to descend on the Byzantines so that even if this plot to abduct him doesn't fire, he's got to fight the whole world. He's got to fight the whole world from the Netherlands to India. Enjoy your war. We're just going to sit on our island and sip our tea and just await the crowning ceremony. Ooh, a crusade. Hold on. I'll take you up on that in a second, Popey. Where are you going? England. The Sultanate of England. Well, you know what? You're on your own for that one. We've got bigger fish to fry right now. I can't believe we pulled this off. So Hungary's coming in with how many men? 22,000. The Holy Roman Empire actually lost a lot of troops, but they're coming in with 17,000. Sweden's coming down with 5,000. India's coming in with... What did they have? Who were we allied with? Was it this guy? Yeah, 20,000 from there. Shit. Chances are a lot of them are in their own wars. We've got 117,000 versus his 40,000. And that's just to slow him down. This is insane. Do everyone's joints creak like this? You're fine. Don't worry about it, fella. And if we can't get France, a bit of a clever marriage to Burgundy might help bring in a big chunk of his troops. It's not going to help us too much, but Burgundy are pretty enormous right now, to be fair. They've got some big chunks of central France. They're coming in to help. They're coming in to help as well. We're still sat on 15,000 prestige. They can't win. Looks like a tunnel we can use. Hello. Regardless, we're probably looking at us taking the Byzantine Empire without a single troop raised. And that would be enough of a flex to keep me happy. Oh, we're just like maxed out with the Pope. We should just befriend the Pope. That'd be a lot easier, right? Let's just move on. We're going to have dinner with the Pope while he pays for new renovations on his house that we're living in, while meanwhile all of Europe and apparently part of Asia die on our behalf. This is it. This is the end. Look upon your new Byzantine Emperor. You can keep generous. That's totally fine. And now, he's here. All hail Emperor Cannoli, King of Sardinia and Emperor of the Byzantine Empire. I think that works. I think I'm happy with that. That looks quite nice, huh? I think that looks pretty good. See you all tomorrow. Thanks for joining me today.